First, a disclaimer. This is not a stock recommendation video. This is purely an educational video designed to identify the characteristics that define wealth creating businesses. In today's video, I identify those top 3 stocks that I would like to hold in my portfolio for the next 10 years and simply forget about them. In order to identify such businesses, I have taken 2 broad parameters. The first one is strong balance sheet and the second one is valuation. Under the strong balance sheet, I consider 5 parameters, which are 1. Market capitalization above 1000 crores in order to eliminate penny stocks. Number 2, revenue growth of more than 10%. Number 3, profitability growth of more than 10%. Number 4, return on equity greater than 15%. And number 5, positive operating cash flows. Under the valuation segment, we consider a price to earnings or price to book value, which may be the case for financial and banking companies. Price to earnings or price to book value should be less than the industry median, which means that the stock must be either fairly valued or undervalued, which could give you a significant. The first on my stocks list is Axis Bank. Axis Bank is India's 3rd largest private sector bank by assets as well as 4th largest private sector bank by market capitalization. Its business model entails catering to a diverse range of customers, including corporate banking as well as retail banking. It has approximately 5,100 branches in India as we speak. It commands a market capitalization of 4 lakh crore as well as has a market share of 5% of total assets held. Its strength is a very strong retail base, a diversified loan book of which 60% is retail in nature, and a strong digital presence. It recently launched Neo by Axis, which is its digital initiative for MSME customers in order to give them services such as GST invoicing as well as bulk payments. Its weakness is its size comparative to its major peers such as ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank, have a respective retail presence of more than 9,000 and 6,000 branches, while Axis is at 5,000 branches. An opportunity on the cards for Axis Bank is its launch of IBU, that is IFSC Banking Unit, its initiative in the GIFT City capital in order to strengthen its presence in the global region as well as to invite NRI clients. GIFT City is a major initiative by the government of India, positioning it as an international capital gateway and provide tax-efficient investment measures to global clients. The threat to the Axis Bank business model is not just the competition from traditional banking models, but also from the leading fintech players, not restricted to Airtel Payments Bank as well as IND Money. Axis Bank, as you can see, has a market capitalization of more than 4 lakh crores, is available at a price to book ratio of 2.2, which is below its industry median. Coming to its annual results, its revenue growth is more than 14% in the past 5 years and 21% in the past 3 years. Its net profit annualized is growing at 75% over the past 5 years and 26% over the past 3 years. The company has a strong return on equity of almost 15% and has strong positive operating cash flows, which is important for any business. The second on the list is a lesser known company, but highly competitive. It is none other than JM Financial Limited. JM Financial was established in India in 1973. In its experience of over 5 decades in India, its diversified line of businesses include 1. Investment banking, that is helping companies raise capital through qualified institutional placements as well as IPOs. 2. It offers asset management as well as wealth services to HNIs and families to manage their investments. 3. It is also present in alternative businesses such as offering structural credit and retail financing. Its alternative businesses such as structural credit as well as real estate financing. Its strengths include its deep relationships with HNIs as well as corporates and its diversified line of businesses. The weaknesses for JM Financial are that its earnings could be cyclical in nature because of its exposure to capital markets. If retail India is not investing, if IPOs are not coming, where is JM Financial going to earn from? Its opportunities include the rising IPO participation in India. The recent spurt of IPOs of Lenskart, Swiggy, Zomato, and Groww. The threat to JM Financial's business model is the regulatory tightening in the lending market. JM Financial Limited has a relatively lesser market capitalization of 13,494 crores, yet has a very strong balance sheet. Look at the balance sheet indicators. The company has a revenue growth of 28% CAGR in the past 5 years, net profit growth of 33%, a strong return on equity of nearly 20% on a CAGR 5-year basis, and positive cash from operating activities. Coming to the valuation trend, its price to equity for the 12 trailing months is 10.8, which is low in the industry, making it a good value buy. The third stock on my list is none other than Tata Consultancy Services. TCS is an IT services as well as consulting organization with an establishment of over 5 decades in India. It has a global footprint in countries such as North America, Latin America, Europe, United Kingdom, and Middle East. The 5 key vertical clusters to which it provides services include banking and financial, media, energy, healthcare, and manufacturing. It has a mega market capitalization of 9.9 lakh crore. Its biggest strength is that it has zero debt. TCS के अंदर कोई भी lending नहीं है. It primarily relies upon shareholders' equity in order to fund its operations as well as growth. The weakness is also an opportunity. The weakness and opportunity are that the stock price is currently at a 52-week low, with a correction of over 33%. So why is the stock price correcting and why am I recommending it? I'll answer both the questions. The stock price has corrected ridiculously due to 2 reasons. Firstly, a good US job data. US job data has improved from a 4.3% to a 4.4% in December, which indicates that rate cuts may not come easily. Add to the fact the recent appointment or the recent nomination of the new chairman of Fed, Kevin Warsh, who is a hawkish guy. He's not going to cut rates easily. A tighter liquidity environment means that discretionary spending from IT companies is not going to happen, and this is not going to give business to traditional IT companies such as TCS. The second reason for the stock price correction is the US artificial intelligence company Anthropic launching its AI platform, that is Cloud Cover, is known to disrupt business models of traditional IT companies. It is known to perform regular and mundane IT-based tasks such as vetting of legal documents, legal contracts, as well as compliances, something which was traditionally done by tech companies. So why am I recommending this? So why am I recommending to buy TCS today? Investors recognize that the value of large IT companies like TCS comes from its large proprietary and continuously updated data sets, something which is very difficult for artificial intelligence language models to do. So its weakness is also its opportunity. Today, TCS is trading, so the weakness is also an opportunity for investors. TCS, which has traded at historic multiples of 29 price to earnings, is available at a valuation of 22 price to earnings today. For large portfolios catering to HNIs, TCS offers something very critical, which is stability, a strong balance sheet, and consistency of dividends. Coming to Tata Consultancy Services, the price to earnings for the past 12 months is a 20.9, which is below the industry median. It is corrected by more than 30% over the past 1 year, making it an excellent buy today. The company continues to have a strong balance sheet with a 10% CAGR growth on the revenue, almost an 8% net profit growth, and positive operating cash flows. So this was our today's video on the top 3 stocks that I would like to buy as well as forget for the next 10 years. What do you think of this video? Are these stocks in your portfolio or are you considering buying them? Let me know in the comment section below. This is Shalini Gera signing off. Bye-bye.